First things first, Todd McFarlane's supervillain here is not any demon to be taken lightly. Violator indisputably tops the list of being the most sadistic, deranged, and horrifying villain from the Spawn universe, from categorically being the most deep-seated villain in the 90s comic book series to being the arch-enemy of Spawn. He has been nothing but a constant tormentor. His character also has this nasty human disguise in the form of the ugliest-looking clown out there, and his true demonic form is bound to make one shit in their pants. In today's video, we will unequivocally explore the anatomy of this ferocious-looking nightmare. Mind you, it will be an intriguing, in-depth analysis of the character's physique, powers, and anatomical details, so we suggest that you stay tuned till the very end of this video. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's dive right into it then. Before we get into our explanation, we do have one very small request. If you enjoy our content, then please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Now let's begin. Is he just a clown or a hell demon? What does he look like? Okay, let's be clear on one thing right away. When we talk about clowns in comics, the Joker is typically given the topmost position for being the most terrorizing one. While we do agree that he is mad, vicious, and absolutely loves to torment Batman, or his extended family for that matter, but believe us when we tell you, he is not exactly the most terrifying one. Well, here is where we would urge you to rethink and confer the title on Violator instead. Oh, we do have our reasons, and we will be citing them all. Violator is first introduced in the second issue of the Spawn comics, where he is sent to Earth as the demonic guardian, or should we say, the intended mentor to Spawn. Now, those of you who are well versed with the comics will remember him initially in his clown persona, but then his true demonic form gets revealed eventually. We are stressing on a gigantic demon straight from hell, who has a fascination towards ripping out his victims' hearts. All throughout the series, Violator's primary agenda has been to look for ways to taunt and torture Spawn, and he almost treats it like his hobby. Of course, he has been killed many times, but he always manages to come back. As the oldest and most powerful amongst the Flibiac brothers, Violator went to the extent of killing his own father, a phlebotin spirit of the Upper Ares. This naturally had the de facto Grand Master of Hell, Malbolgia, utterly impressed, and made Violator his chief lieutenant, giving him the charge of grooming and training the new Hellspawns that the former created. While the main purpose was to create an army for Hell, Violator was against the whole idea of humans becoming Hellspawns, and in the process, attaining so much power. No wonder he looked down at the humans and always tried to assert his superiority over them. Naturally, when Al Simmons died and became Spawn, Violator treated him as more of a competitor than a menace, all in the hopes of proving to his master Malbolgia that he was way better than Spawn. Now, Violator may have been a powerful demon from hell with a horde of powers at his disposal, but his hands tend to be tied primarily by his role though. For starters, he cannot kill a Hellspawn if he does not have the order to do so from his superiors. What he can do is weaken the Hellspawns and make them waste their powers by having them wreak complete havoc. His chief task is to mentor them and have them serve in Hell's army. Violator, while in his human disguise, looks like an overweight man and is short, say about 3 feet 10 inches. He is kind of bald and has this blue paint on his face which, if you look closely, will resemble the letter M, and has 4 fingers on each hand. His real form, however, is that of a hideous-looking demon, one who is widely disproportionate, very tall, and has the ability to bulk up to a much more physically imposing form. It is only fitting to address him as a nightmare with a particular penchant for murder and mayhem. His character throughout the series has been killed endless times, and each time he has managed to come back somehow way deadlier and more powerful than before.
You worthless beggar! How could you let him kill?
Does he have the ability to possess others' bodies? As a demon of such high standing, there should not be any second thoughts in his ability to possess bodies. Of course, he is able to possess the bodies of countless people while hosting an individual body, and he has done that on plenty of occasions all throughout the comic series. We will give you a few instances. There was this one story arc that had Violator possess a man, only to build an entire army of deranged clowns in the hopes of drawing Spawn out and taking his power. Another instance had him possess Jason Wynn. Addressing everyone who is thinking why he did that, well, the motive remains the same, and that is simply to attack Spawn. Another story arc even had Violator possess a politician for that matter. We would also like to point out that Violator is someone who is a master when it comes to the art of deception. He has the ability to play with the minds of people, at times the same people all over again, and not only have them believe him, but also make them fall for his tricks. So, in all likelihood, there is a fair chance that he might resort to this in order to possess the bodies of other people. You know, easy peasy lemon squeezy.
So good. And feel that butt. It feels so.
Can Violator shapeshift? Amongst an array of things that this Period of Perdition is capable of doing, he can most certainly shapeshift between his demon and human form. We actually get a good look of this in the second issue of the Spawn comic series, where in the beginning, we get to witness his short, overweight human shape in the form of a nasty-looking clown, a personality that he resorts to in order to blend in with the humans, and at will, may we add. Eventually, we get to see his true demonic form that is busy ripping out hearts from the chest of the mobsters that he ambushed in the first place. Mind you, Violator's true form happens to be anything but a pretty sight. What we are looking at is this very large, skinny demon with blood-curdling red eyes, needle-sharp teeth, and pointed, spiky fingers. Does he have the ability to breathe fire? We are talking about someone who is practically immortal. So, yes, he is incredibly powerful, enough to literally breathe flames, and there is no denying that. In the 15th issue of Spawn, Violator is seen engaging in an intense demonic battle with medieval Spawn that ultimately leads to the former breathing fire on the latter and horribly disfiguring him in the process.
Come and get me!
Is his body immune to any type of damage? Besides being in possession of the power of immortality, as mentioned before, Violator has superhuman levels of strength, speed, endurance, agility, stamina, and add to this a healing factor too. We'd like to put further stress on the healing factor, as that is what precisely lets him restore himself, even if he has his heart ripped out, or let's say his brain getting pulled out in the process. Do not be taken aback when we tell you that he also has the power to survive a heap of incoming high-caliber gunshots that would otherwise wipe out a human then and there. Violator in his human form as an overweight clown is quite strong too. He is powerful enough to kick Spawn as well as catch a falling Spawn too, for that matter, who unquestionably weighs at least over 200 pounds. Violator in his human disguise can also punch right through someone's skull, and if you ask us, he absolutely loves to do that.
Hey, yummy.
Can he reproduce? Okay, this is getting interesting. We know that the malefic Violator is a sadistic demon from hell, but his shapeshifting power allows him to have a human body. Now, no matter how nasty the human body might look, it does make Violator human at the end of the day, and gives him the ability to reproduce. It is true that there has not been a mention of this throughout the comic series, but we cannot disregard the part that maybe he can reproduce, and it just has not been brought up yet. Is he immortal? A short and simple answer to this question would be yes, but we'd like to take you through the scenic route anyway. We have seen Violator smashing through the rooftops, snapping a whole tree in half with just a hand, ripping off the arm of Spawn, enlarging himself to a size where he can crush an entire human using his jaws, decapitate his younger demon brother, and effortlessly beat his head into a bloody pulp. Well, these are things that you cannot expect a mere human to do in the first place, thereby pointing towards the direction that, yes, he is an immortal being. Violator is also powered by necroplasm that gives him the power to raise the dead, shoot powerful energy blasts. Add to this teleportation, telepathy, and necromancy, amongst a plethora of other powers. He can be destroyed by someone who is an equal to him or happens to be more powerful than him. It is hard on the part of Violator to survive a decapitation by a Hellspawn or an angel for that matter, no matter how powerful he happens to be. Marvelous verdict. Anyway, with this, we finally come to the end of our video here. Well, what do you guys think of Violator? Do you like him in his true demonic form or in his clown form? We'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also, stay tuned with us as we promise to come back with more exciting content. Till then, goodbye and have a nice one.